Tech Channel 1. Gonna be streaming some technology stuff today. Actually, probably pretty short stream. We'll see. Is this working? It looks like it's working. It says public. Is that working? Yeah. Yeah. Cool. All right. Yeah. All right. Increase the size of this chat window thing. There we go. All right. The goal is to start on this new video. This is the VCF Midwest. I will do a photography related video. So that's usually what I focus on, but in this case, just saw a pop up on one of the streaming things. Anyways, I'll make a video about that, but also I think I'm going to do one for the tech channel. So I already recorded a voiceover quite a few days ago. This is Magix Vegas Pro. This is the software that I use. Why is the... There we go. That was... Oh. Anyways. Things are just not working for some reason. There we go. So I already recorded voiceover. This is Magix Vegas Pro 21. It's a little buggy, but it works for the most part. I just did a voiceover. This is a bunch of GoPro footage that I'll slap on there once I clip up the voiceover. So I have a few tools that I use to make this work. Let's see if I want to leave that there. Yeah. These tools are written in C# Visual Studio, obviously .NET framework or whatever it's called these days. And I have one to remove silent portions. It's not perfect, but it does something. So this goes through the rendering process, and then it creates a special thing that it reads, and then it removes silent portions of the video. You can put these back in here. So before I get to the clips, I have to clip this up because I'm sure it's kind of messed up with the track here. I don't do scripts really, so it's probably a little wonky. The Vintage Computer Festival Midwest 2020. Audio not working? 25. I went there on Saturday. What? I had some weird audio issues a while back. Trying to get this working. And it just randomly happened, so I feel like it's a Windows update or something that happened. And it basically broke OBS, so it seems like it might have broken other programs that use audio, which is crazy to me because why would you push an update that is that extreme without testing it? But Uh, I would assume that it just swapped my audio defaults. Yeah, set it to the... Why am I not seeing my... Oh, there it is. Ah, okay. Now I can hear my background music. Microphone's correct. Yeah, so it swapped it to one of the screens. That's such a irritating feature in reality. But I guess it makes sense. The thing is, Windows loves swapping to screens when it connects, even though you like potentially disable them and stuff. Who knows? Let's see if this works. The Vintage Computer Festival. Yeah. VCF Midwest 2025. I went there on Saturday. My personal focus is photography. I wonder if my music's too loud. Well, the Vintage Computer Festival
Midwest 2025. I went there on Saturday. My personal focus is photography. I make videos on maps doing POV style photography. So I went there with the goal of taking pictures, but still, I really do enjoy computing equipment and all the related stuff. I love seeing all of the older computers,
seeing all of the older computers, seeing all of the old... Yeah, this is the exciting part of editing, as in not exciting. And all of the old
computers, older phone equipment, and everything else that they have at the event. This is a free event. It's awesome. Obviously, donations are great. You can buy their merch, do the auction. I don't know a ton about that because I don't tend to stay there a really long amount of time, but it's definitely good to donate. It's at the Schaumburg. Now it's at the Schaumburg Convention Center.
What's at the Schaumburg? It's now located at... Like I said, I don't do scripts, so it's especially a little janky. So probably look at tech news at some point. I have a bunch of things set up for that. I have done some tech, like, news-esque videos on the specific YouTube channel. But yeah, I'll probably look at this a little bit more. 16 gigabyte 7700 from AMD. The GPU market doesn't seem as terrible as it was, but it's still pretty bad. I really wish they would stop focusing on limiting VRAM, because I do a lot of experimentation with the AI stuff now, but mostly I just swap. I was trying to do local model stuff, but and my flipping GPU is 8 gigabyte, so it's not great for that type of stuff. Anyways, but it's definitely good to a really long amount of time. Definitely good to donate. It is not... Maybe we should leave that. You can buy their
merch, do the auction. I don't know a ton about that because I don't tend to stay there a really long amount of time. It is now located at the Schaumburg Convention Center. It was at a previous location. I did see the older location once back in 2022, which was my first time attending this event. I also went in 2024.
You could probably download a clip or find the video from that. Switch here for a second. I'd get higher quality if I... and my voice. If I open up the YouTube channel. I mean, the YouTube channel is much lower quality, obviously, than the source. And YouTube also, on the back end, where you can manage your videos, they give you a really not great version of it to download. But I think I'll probably just use that one to save some time here. Did I mention the location? I did see the older location ones back. Oh, yeah, okay. You have to search by description, I think. No, that's the old one. I mean, newer one. Here we go. Download. All right. We've got a few videos, at least on the photography channel for VCF. Meet that. Here's the oldest one. Well, those are ads, but that's a Midwest, maybe 2 or 3 years ago. Pandemic and everything, I just didn't want to risk it. However, this year, I checked it out. Of course, I wanted to do some photography there with old vintage equipment. I think there's a really interesting aesthetic to it, and my goal was to take photos. The event website is vcfmw.org. It's a free event featuring past technology. There are information. I don't know if that's the right website anymore. Oh. Huh. I wonder if they changed that. Maybe not. W.org. It's a free event featuring past technology. There are informational displays, booths set up for selling equipment, mini computers, and other types of equipment available to try out. I think they also had panels running, but I wasn't sure where that was. I can put a link to that. Oops. Bloop. All right. There we go. New folder. You know, video editing is not a very exciting stream to watch for most people. Yeah, I did like the old location. It's pretty cool. But, you know, the size, it kept growing as an event, so. Even now, they seem kind of packed out, the newer location. So is that? Maybe I can fit it in between here. Okay, that's probably more than enough. Photography. So I went there with the goal. Older phone equipment. That's awesome. Obviously, donation at the Schaumburg Convention Center. It was at a previous location. I did. Let me. So I was moving around a lot here. It's kind of jumpy. And I did see the older
location once back in 2022, which was my first time attending this event. However, I also went in 2024 and saw the new location, and now, of course, in 2025, the new location. There is a lot of parking around.
All right, I could pull the other one too. Maybe I'll do that. Download. Download failed. What? Download failed. Okay. Download. That's weird. It's literally not letting me download one of the videos on the back end of YouTube. Huh. Okay. Whatever. I have a script that takes these markers and it converts them into the time code plus the text. And then I put those into YouTube because they have a feature on YouTube. If you put into the description, you start at 0:00, and then it parses all of those time codes plus text and it splits up the video on YouTube. So it's convenient for viewers to jump around or pick certain areas. However, I also went
in 2024 and saw the new location, and now, of course, in 2025, the new location. There is a lot of parking around, but still, it's very, very busy and sometimes difficult to get a parking spot. I looked out. I didn't spend too much time getting a spot, but yeah, there tends to be.
I probably don't have footage of that. Yeah, I didn't pull out the camera or the GoPro until I was inside. But maybe I have. Nope. It's just all inside. Oh well. I could also put like a map. Probably not that browser. I don't know what Google's license is to show map data and stuff. Let's see. There's a terms. Including features and allow you to view. Okay, It says publicly display content with proper attribution online, in video, and in print. So it should be fine to show a map of it. Is it Schaumburg? Renaissance Schaumburg. Let's see, that's the one. I think that's it. Where's the... Oh, here we go. Layers. Yeah, the interesting circle. I would change the... Picture them. Okay, maybe not that. Over here, maybe. So that's one of the parking lots. But that was full. The window. And then I could just do this. So pretty much all of this was full and all of that was full. And then there's always construction around here somewhere. So I think this was not accessible. I'm trying to think where the construction was. But this looks like a lot of parking, and it is a lot of parking, but it was packed. I did get a parking spot down here, though. I lucked out, like somewhere around here. I think that should be good. And the actual convention, I think it's in here mostly. But this makes it look so much smaller for some reason in the map, but it's pretty big. You can see the size of a van, just like a regular car. Yeah. Not really sure what this circle thing is. Like what the purposes of it. So it's probably just some thing to make it look cool. Oh. All right. There we go. It's got the attribution, but it's really tiny. Let's see. I'm gonna switch my view for a second. Face cam. More than a second. Let's see, where can I put this? All right. Export. All of my screens are still 1080p, so I mostly do videos in 1080p, so it's fine. But if I ever try to do full 4K, I'd probably need a screen for screen caps to get like a full resolution 4K. All right. It's back over here. I've got a map. All the new location.
And now, of course, in 2025, the new location. There is a lot of parking around, but still it's very, very busy and sometimes difficult.
There is a lot of parking around.
But still it's very, very busy and sometimes difficult to get a parking spot. I looked out. I didn't spend too much time getting...
I'll put a text thing on here. As I was saying, this is Magix Vegas Pro 21. I've used this editor for a long time in different variations. They had, I think it was version 15 that I switched to the Pro version. But before that, I was using the consumer one. I can't even, it was like Movie Studio, something like that. And then the Platinum name to it. I have used Premiere, but that was kind of in a mix before that, but also at the same time. And that was, I still have it. I bought a version, or I have, yeah. It was before the CS stuff of Adobe. So like version 5 something of Premiere. And I have kind of messed around with DaVinci Resolve, but so far I didn't really like how it worked. So there probably have been other programs I've used, but not much. Like Windows Movie Maker, that was a thing. I remember doing some videos with that. All right, I was going to add a text thing. Insert. Whoops. I think that should be fine. I'll put it on the top here. Okay, why is it? Oh, that is why. There is a lot of parking around, but still it's very, very... Problem is if I scale the image, it's going to cut off this other attribution stuff. It probably doesn't matter, but... Airbus. Air... BUA? Maxar Technologies. I could just type it out. Put this over here for a second. And that looks like a... air boot. It's like a tiny B. I can't tell what letter that is. That's very small. And just do a search on it. Let's see if I can find the actual name. Airbus. Okay. I thought it might have been Airbus, but... It's probably good enough. There is a
lot of parking around, but still it's...
So now I can at least do a animated... There is a lot of
parking around, but still it's very, very busy and sometimes difficult to get a parking spot. I lucked out. I didn't spend too much time getting a spot, but yeah, there tends to be a mix of other events going on.
All right. At the same
time, which makes it a bit difficult considering how popular VCF Midwest is now. With that, there is so much to see in the main event area. They do have panels and such, but
there is so
much to see in the main event area. They do have panels and such, but like I said, I don't personally know a ton about that and haven't gone to any of those. Maybe in the future, hopefully in the future, they can expand to the point where they can...
Might remove that. Hopefully in the future
they can expand to the point where they can take over enough that we aren't... Hopefully in the future they can expand...
Thing is, I've always noticed there's another event going on at the same time, which kind of makes the parking situation a lot more difficult. So it would be cool if they could take over the... There's a main area, which they use on the first floor, but upstairs, there always seems to be some other thing going on at the same time. In the future, they can
expand enough and find the funding to take over more of the convention center so they don't have to fight as much for parking with other events. But I think that probably would require a lot more donations. So yeah, obviously this is my tech channel, so I'm going to try to go more into technology.
I'll just remove that. About that And
I haven't gone to any of those. Obviously, this is my tech channel, so I'm going to try to go more into technology rather than the photography. But like I said, my main focus was walking around taking photos. I used a Sony A7S camera, which is 12 megapixel. It's a little bit older. Thought it'd be
I used a
Sony A7S camera, which is 12 megapixel. It's a little bit older. Thought it'd be a fun combination, and I used two different lenses. I'll show a few of the photos, but mostly just the GoPro footage that I had on my backpack doing POV style video. This year, I didn't talk to many of the people hanging out at the event. Sadly, it was very busy, so I was just trying to walk around and do my thing. I did talk to a few people, which I'll try to intersperse in the video. One specifically
might have gone on the Sunday last time, which would have been not as busy, most likely. Hanging out at the
event. Sadly, it was very busy, so I was just trying to walk around and do my thing. I did talk to a few people, which I'll try to intersperse in the video. One specifically was LGR's brother, Luke. He does photography.
thing is, I don't have footage of that. Brother Luke, he
Does
does.
photography as well, so I talked to him a little bit, but I don't have any footage of that, sadly. I do have some photos from that booth. So there were quite a few of the
So there were
well-known tech YouTubers, usually more focused on the retro side of things. Very cool to see, but I didn't catch any of them specifically at the event, so I don't know how busy it was once they got there. I think for this video, I'm going to talk more.
For this video,
I'm going to talk more about my own history with computing. For this video, I'm going to talk about my
oh boy. First computer that I used was a but I tried to use it. I don't know what I can call
this
that.
video, just to give you as much footage as possible. I need something to talk about, and I'll talk about my own personal history with computing. First computer that I used was a First computer that I used was a Commodore 64. It was a hand-me-down from friends of the family, and at the point, it was relatively old, but I tried to use it as much as I could, did some basic programming. However, I never figured out how to save to disk my own programs, so I didn't get super far with that. Still, it's a core memory that I have using that computer. And then, of course, playing games on it, all of the classics. Centipede, I think, was one. Dig Dug, Pac-Man, stuff like that. Yeah. Obviously,
the Commodore
64 is very representative.
I never spell that word. It's gonna have to look it up. COMMODORE. Whoops. That doesn't look right. Just to give you as much
footage as possible. I need something to talk about, and I'll talk about my own personal history with computing. First computer that I used was a Commodore 64. It was a hand-me-down from friends of the family, and at the
still, it's a
core memory that I have using that computer. And then, of course, playing games on it. All of the classics. Centipede, I think, was one. Dig Dug, Pac-Man, stuff like that. Obviously, the Commodore 64 is very represented at this event. There's a lot of different variants of it. There's new versions that are emulated. There's repackaged cases, painted cases. I saw some of the accessories that I had personally used, such as the keyboard that was placed on top of the C64. And then, obviously, with the related software, you could play music. I have, again, some very core memories of using that. And then my next computer was a Pentium 166 MM.
Search here for a second. Pull up the photos from this event. And this is ACDC Photo Studio Ultimate. This is generally the program that I use to manage photos. Did make a video recently on it, as in like last few days. How's it going? Pretending to concentrate? I don't know. I try, but thanks for stopping by. Yeah, this is ACDC Photo Studio Ultimate. It works pretty well to manage photos. You can develop raw photos. Oh, serious face? Yeah. Maybe that's just my natural look. I'm not sure. But yeah. Yeah, I'm on the right screen. Okay, I must have been zoomed into at the time. Or I mean, face cammed. Anyways, this is VCF Midwest. It's a vintage computer festival. I like going there and taking photos. Just walking around, looking at all of the computer stuff. And obviously there's a big mix of random old technology. Like whatever this is. Can't read the text, but those are some floppy disks. Things like that. Whoops. Oh. It's like meeting old people. Okay. Yeah, they have a bunch of even older stuff here. I don't know what this thing is. Might be some type of phone system thing. They had a LAN party set up where people could play. I think that's Quake. Let me see when Quake came out. Oh, seeing old. Yeah, I'm also relatively old, so. Whoops. Quake release date. So the game on there came out in 1996. Yeah. Seeing old computers is like meeting old people. That makes sense. This thing, I don't know what this was. And I didn't see a label. It's probably some type of medical device, like training device. This thing didn't appear to. I did a search on this, but it didn't look like it related to whatever this is. Punching device? Maybe. Yeah, that's possible. It doesn't look like a material that, well, anyways. And this thing wasn't related to it. This is for something else. Yeah. Old phone stuff. TDD. Oh, for the deaf. It's cool. And there's a lot of plushies around too. Oh, it lights up. Oh, okay. Okay. It lights up as you punch it. Ah, that makes sense. Thought this was cool. I remember seeing cases like that at one point. This is a soldering station. Oh, I haven't seen that in years. Yeah. Soldering station. So they're kind of learning how to do that. I'm not sure. I didn't try this out. I was mostly just walking around taking photos, but that looked nice. I wasn't sure what this was. A chair inside of a whatever bubble. Pokemon stuff. Of course, a lot of it was on sale as well. This was Cool Tunes by Igloo. You put food and drinks in it, and it has a boombox integrated into it. It's pretty cool. Soldering stuff. Another random, I don't know what this is from. Maybe a idle game or something. It's got a little microphone thing. So old Weather Channel computers. It's kind of cool. And then they've got a sample of how it works. I don't know what this thing was. It's probably like a newer. No, it's got an AMD something. I can't read the text. Oh, here we go. Maybe it's a modern kind of replacement version of whatever this thing is, so that it still works. Radio 86RK. It's cool. Zenith Data Systems. Okay, this is a computer, but in like broken out form. Yeah. Bunch of relays or whatever. Relay and crystal computer. So the ALU has 16 functions. 4-bit adder. And shows the different gates. Inputs. Registers. So yeah, very simple computer, but broken out into components that are more tactile. That's pretty cool. Control unit. Branch condition. Instruction registers. And then they have an example of how to do the math. of messed up the focus on that one. She was drawing something on the screen. Yeah, anyways, a lot of pictures. I'm going to eventually make a photography video, but I'm going to do another one for the tech channel as well. So right now I'm just clipping up a talking portion that I made a while back, and then I'll place GoPro footage on top for the most part. Yeah. So this is kind of the boring part, so sadly, well, I'll probably do this later then. I'll just go over some pictures so it's not super boring for people. So I'm probably not going to stream too much longer. Let's see what this thing is. Stromberg Carlson intercom phone. Okay, it's got like patch cables. That is the world's telephones. They had a whole phone network set up in the different area. Yeah, these are not boring enough, right? Depends on your perspective. Yeah, it's all good. So that's a very, very old phone system. Another missed focus. 3000 HL, 4 times the XT's something. Probably performance. And it's nice, and the color change is pretty drastic for the monitor. I have an old Super Nintendo that is very yellow at this point. But from how I understand it, a lot of the time the yellowing comes from the fire. They put components in the plastic to help it, yeah, it's all good, to help it not burn in a fire situation or combust or whatever. So those components apparently, I could be wrong, but apparently that's part of the reason that the plastics go yellow. Although that looks good. There's Doom running on a Radio Shack computer. 386 Tandy 4000. Yeah, the Radio Shack computers were kind of before I knew anything about them. It's got an, actually that's a newer disk drive. This is one of the older, like larger ones. Here's some really old. This is, the camera I used was only 12 megapixel, so it's not the best resolution wise. But those look like very, very old computers. Kind of like mainframe type stuff. Maybe. Intertech Data Systems Superbrain. That sounds very intense. Let's see. Superbrain. All right. Yeah, Star Trek. Yeah, that's probably the time that it came out, actually. I think Star Trek was the 1960s, like late. Okay, this is a little bit older, or I mean newer. 1979. So Star Trek would have been before, I think, except for the movies, like the original Star Trek. Whoops. Okay, 1979 for the original movie. So that basically aligns to that computer. Oh, and some of them were much older. 1986, 89, 91. Yeah, it's very possible the movie had like an inspiration from this type of computer. 64 kilobytes of RAM, 2 kilobytes of ROM. Man, my computer here has 64 gigabytes of RAM. That's a big jump, but 46 years ago. Oops. Let's see what else we've got. Uh, there's the Hoff or whatever his name is. Enough to put a man on the moon, yeah. Knight Rider, probably. That's probably what that is. Let's see. TV. So it was 1982 to 1986. What type of car was that? Was it a Corvette? Surprised it doesn't say which model of car it is based on. Oops. Oh, Pontiac Firebird. Okay, I was totally off. Not even close. Oh, yeah. Oh. Remember watching that show a little bit. Must have been reruns, probably. Computer stuff, camera stuff. These are old, uh, probably used in news organizations and stuff. Sony, some, I don't know. But my guess is like mini DV tapes and stuff for this. K Pro 10. The layout of keyboards was definitely odd at times. So they've got the arrow keys on the top. Okay, here's a Commodore 64, but emulated. That was my first computer. I got it as a hand-me-down from friends of the family. This one, 64. But this thing is emulated type of whatever this is. But that does look like the original case, which is cool. Wonder in the future, people's brain neural networks for sale. I don't know. Elon is doing his whatever brain stuff. I can't remember. Neuralink. So, I mean, technically you could. The thing is, I don't know. There's a big difference between reading signals from the brain and like interfacing with it back and forth. So I don't know if we're even close to doing like a two-way communication with the brain. Though there might be ones that push like visual signals into the brain for people that have bad eyes. I don't know. Blind sight chip. Restore vision in individuals with blindness. Implants that directly stimulate the visual cortex. Okay, so I guess they do. Allowing users to perceive visual information. Yeah, so maybe some of it is back and forth, or at least pushing data into, rather than just reading data from the brain. So, I mean, I guess in a way you could set up some type of way of using the brain for processing, potentially. Yeah, it goes directly to the visual cortex, not to anything related to the optic nerves. Musk's. I don't like the guy, but he does have a lot of interesting things going on. Anyways, let's see what else we got. Yeah, I didn't know what this thing was, but that's a unique display. Flight forward to Chicago has been delayed. And it's OS2. This was an operating system at one point, more business related. OS2. So, yeah, runs DOS, Windows applications. No, don't copy your idea. Yeah. It sounds like the Matrix, but I mean, technically, the Matrix was just using people for power generation. So, yeah, I guess that is different. Just using a PCMC IA, looks like slot, and then it converts it into another type of connection, and then they put wires out of it. And it looks like audio cables. So yeah, that's unique looking. IBM Classroom LAN Administrator, something. I always like these little computers, like little laptop things. But practically, I don't know how useful those were. So IBM Palm Top PC, something. This little Atari control pad thing. I don't know how ergonomic that controller would have been. Probably not terrible. Looks similar to a standard Nintendo one, like original Nintendo. Atari 800. Oh, this one? Yeah. PC gamer stuff. I remember having a subscription to Nintendo Power and PC Gamer at one point. Timex Sinclair. I think this is more of a Europe type computer. Oh, that's weird looking. How to pay for calls. I don't know what this is. A call thing with a big screen on it. I don't know. Old calculators. That always felt like a scam with the, I don't know where you are, but in United States, I don't remember what age range of school, but they forced you to get a graphing calculator. And those things were not cheap. So I remember getting one, like a TI-83, I think it was. I don't have any more, but... And then I don't feel like we did a huge amount with the calculators, at least in the school that I went to. So it felt like a scam, even as a kid. The gamer, or the girl geek. Some type of game system. Puppy Love Story by Casio. Loopy. My something computer. Huh. Oh, Loopy. So it's from Japan. Huh. Then we've got the dude version. Let's see. Roland something. I'm not sure what computer that is. Oh, here we go. 68,000 Ace hard drive something. 12 megapixel camera is not ideal for details. Oops. This guy was playing some type of shooter or something. Street Fighter on the side. Is that Street Fighter on a Commodore? Nah. I doubt it. Ninja Turtles. Let's see. Okay, these are connected by a modem. These two. Yeah. I'm going to end stream. I wasn't planning on doing too much here, but I've been doing something called multi-streaming. So Twitch plus YouTube usually. Just curious to see how it works on different... I have multiple YouTube channels. But I'll be editing this video and have a technology YouTube channel that I'm trying to get a little more viewership on. See if I can pull up an example. Whoops. No, I can't use that. Yeah. Thanks. Do you do photography and stuff? Are you from that group? Because I don't tend to get a lot of interaction on Twitch. But, so for this one, I've mostly done current technology stuff. Phase change thermal pads I mess around with. This company sent me some of those to try out. I did a bunch of videos on building a new computer, just like as I went through the process of it. So I made an overview of the motherboard and such. I could still do a few more of those videos because I still have a bunch of footage and things. Yeah. But my main channel is mostly photography related. So, anyways, thanks for hanging out. Gonna head out for now, work on that video. Thanks. See ya. Peace. I have to switch to here. See ya.